Hey, yo, dude, quick question. Do you think AI is going to kill us all or take our jobs? No, you don't think so. Great. Okay. Have a good day. Let's ask some of these folks. Let's ask her. Yo, excuse me, do you think AI is going to kill us all? Okay. Yo, excuse me, do you think AI is going to kill us all or take our jobs?
You could talk about it from the take our jobs. The other way
Yeah, tell me
around,
more.
I think it might save us from God knows how much.
I want to hear both of these perspectives if you got a moment.
Sure. How do you feel about it?
How do I feel? I don't want to bias your take. I'll tell you after. How about that?
Okay. I was back in Seattle where I'm from. Most of them are gone, so I don't go back anymore. But I had a job at a rehab factory, and I took a course in what I think is called NC numerical control, which was a simpler version of it. And Boeing, which we were working for, they were giving us, so we'd have jobs, those of us. I managed to get in through a friend of somebody's. But anyway,
Cool.
Boeing had a lot of these, NC machines, and you'd only need like one instructor for several machines.
Okay.
They were faster, they rarely had accidents, but when they did have accidents, they was, it's going so fast.
Yeah. Sounds
Okay,
like it could be catastrophic.
But also it could be, it can be anyway.
Yeah.
From the human point of view, you could lose an arm or a hand.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to lose one.
No, but you do it on regular machines, you could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be like a labor point of view that they simply could, as they've already done in grocery stores, they just start eliminating people.
Ah, okay,
But
so automating service jobs.
In science here, when I came back, I was in zoology and I was in physical chemical.
Oh, physical chemistry? Cool.
Well, it's in zoology, but they use chemistry and math.
Cool.
So I'm very much in favor of that in terms of disease and so forth. I don't know where Kennedy's head is at.
Yeah.
It can go through stuff much faster, like with computers, but also have something trained, as I was ultimately ultra trained as a technician.
Yeah.
You could have machines doing that, probably much faster. So that's my point of view, that it could really help humans, but what about, what's this going toward? So many jobs.
What do you think? Yeah. What do you think of what this is going towards? That's sort of a philosophical question.
Well, right now, with them cutting funds for research, I don't know what it was going toward. I think as a help, because my mom was a nurse and her brother was a doctor.
Yeah.
So of course I believe in vaccine and all that, but I don't really know what the statistics are. I think all you'd have to do is take an area when it first came that didn't have any of that, and what the statistics were in those areas as compared by the time they got to the West Coast, where we had already evolved.
I see.
For what you do to 19.
Okay. So what about the kill us all part? Do you think it'll kill us all? Is there any risk, existential risk to humanity surviving the age of AI?
What I grew up with was the nuclear thing. I remember an incredible compliment to however my mother got me into this. We went to a lecture by Linus Pauling when I was in high school.
Wow.
He wasn't so known then, but I was overwhelmed. Here he was telling us what the decay rates were on bombs, how the soil itself wouldn't be usable for 200 years.
Yeah.
Apparently, if it's out exteriorly, you can survive a lot. If it gets in your body, you can't.
I see.
So I grew up with all that. So hearing about AI, when they started talking about it, one of the things was the computers themselves could supposedly be disrupted by sound.
Okay.
Various kinds of sounds could actually wreck them or stop them from, So that should transmit to what I think of as having robots or something. I think that the brain part of the robot could have that. But I read stuff in the magazines about how they're repairing themselves and they refuse. I think it sounds more like graduate student pranks, that they set up something like that so that, when other people try to fix the machine, it would it would refuse to kill itself.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion?
What's my opinion? So to summarize, it sounds like it could help humanity. It will probably take some jobs. but overall, probably helpful.
Yeah.
And then on the kill us all part, you've been through some shit through that era, the Cold War era. So,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah,
it sounds
about
like you have a very nuanced and different take than somebody
Modern
else that hasn't.
generation,
Yeah, that's somebody that hasn't. So yeah, you want to know my take.
Yes.
So I'm actually running a startup that's open source. We're building on public, and we're trying to solve for AI alignment, meaning we're changing experience to experience. I talk to you, I change my thinking, I change my perspective. So as I change my model of the world, how does the AI model change with me? That's my question. So how can AI understand us if we don't fully understand ourselves? That's my thinking. So who is solving for that problem so that someday when I have kids, I'm confident of bringing my kids into a world where they can become their best selves. So I have a positive view that this is another obstacle for humanity. I do believe there's a non-zero chance we'll all die. And I'm sure back in the Cold War, people thought there was a non-zero chance. Luckily, we got through that. And I'm taking the optimistic take, and I'm actually just rolling up my sleeves and trying to solve the problem myself. Now, for taking jobs, I absolutely think it's going to be disruptive. We're already seeing that. I work in software, and a lot of my colleagues that work in technology are being laid off because AI now can code. And that used to be a lucrative skill set 3 years ago. And now it still is, but it's getting more and more niche and more specialized. So there's a lot of people that are generalists that are now being laid off, and these big tech companies are trying to consolidate and increase margins. So I think it's disruptive, but I also think on the other side, there are use cases like cultural preservation. So AI is actually helping us preserve culture by taking a look at, for example, stuff that comes out of anthropology and the stuff we dig out of the ground and enhancing it with image generation, video generation capabilities. That's really cool. We can also translate on the fly. So if I went to Japan or Spain, I could take a picture and view a menu. I could have a live conversation and talk to another human being in a way that I would have never been able to before. So just like with any other technology, there's good, there's bad, there's ugly. And I choose to take a positive view while also taking a pragmatic view that there is good, bad, and ugly. That's my take.
Well, I think part of it too is you're dealing with people who have very little concept of what you're talking about,
Yeah.
like Native Americans. And I'm not trying to be insulting, but they want to kind of think that there's something religious about bones. They probably aren't even genetically related to. There was one thing I saw above Vancouver on the coast. I saw a documentary of it, and this girl was young, and she was so enthusiastic, and she said, to think of her own people, and they're her own people are probably killing each other. Well, no, I mean if they take it religiously, so you can't work with it.
Got it.
So I think you have to be careful what you say, or I did. I alienated some people whom my mother invited.
Got it.
Chief's daughter and her husband was something. And all I said, they wanted all of it back. And I said, well, that doesn't seem very realistic. Maybe you could get forts or stuff that had belonged to the government that you could turn into your own whatever. And that was already started other places where they have a salmon bake or something.
Okay. Got it.
But when we start talking about culture, anything with, I don't know, I'm so hesitant because they just balk and pretty soon nothing goes on. They feel they have the right to go out and kill a whale, and they did. Instead of, I wanted the whales to lead the safe air, which I don't know if you could get them to.
Yeah.
The orcas.
Got it.
Anyway, I think what you're saying is very good, that your own family and your own, people that you are in direct contact with, that you could keep them in this.
Yeah.
I never even thought of it being dangerous. What sort of things would you mention that why people are so afraid of it?
Well, have you heard of, you've heard of ChatGPT, like the AI tool, ChatGPT?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's the most popular tool of all time now. It has, I think 10% of the world uses it every day. I think we'll have to fact check that. And ChatGPT recently, a student or a child was talking to ChatGPT and telling it, I want to commit suicide. And what it did was encourage the kid to commit suicide. That's AI telling a kid who is vulnerable and at risk to encourage this kid to commit suicide. And so then he did.
Oh, he did.
And that made headline, that was recent within the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I'm like, it's humans building these things at the end of the day. And have you read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a similar sort of problem. It's like, just because we can, should we? And it's already going full steam. And I think the people working in these spaces, other technologists, should be thinking about these things. Because if you're working at Meta, if you're working at Google, you're working at OpenAI, you got to be thinking about these things.
No, but I mean, there must have been some repercussions. Some father comes in and shoots him.
It's in flight right now. So there's a whole legal thing going on with it. I'd suggest Googling it. It is...
Now it's what?
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, kid suicide. Okay.
Kid suicide. Yeah, look that up. Or you just look up AI kid suicide, you'll find it. It's scary.
I don't mean to laugh, but that could
that's crazy.
jeopardize your money and everything.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
So think about that. How many kids are talking to these things that are vulnerable? And I think about, is that the only one we've heard of? You know?
Well, it's just, does the machine have any idea what it's saying?
Yes. And that's part of it, right? Yeah. So it's the humans at the end of the day that are creating the guardrails and putting these products out there. And I think we got to be a lot more careful because...
It might have been some program that just bounces it back. Well, you try it, see if you like it or something.
Yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much for taking the time.
All right. What was your last name?
T.A. Robert Ta. So
you're starting a company that's doing
I have a company that's solving AI alignment. If you want to look us up, I'll throw this on our socials and you could DM me. I'll tag you. Okay. You'll look up the Robert Ta. If you want a shortcut, it makes Roberta. Robert Ta, Roberta. Okay. Easy to remember.
Well, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a great day.
You too.
Great. So to round it out, a lot of negatives. Many neutrals didn't talk to me. But as an entrepreneur, you got to shoot your shot. And it was great to get the pulse of the people. It was very interesting to hear that lady's take. She came from the Cold War era. So her take on existential risk was very nuanced and much deeper than other people's take, which were surface level. Yeah, for sure, Terminator is going to kill us all. She's probably thinking dystopian thoughts since the Cold War era. And she gave a shout out to her mom for getting her through that, which I think was wonderful. Yeah, I think we'll wrap there. I definitely got educated myself today. And I feel like I have a better pulse on how people actually feel about these tools. Some people are optimistic. Some people are worried about their jobs. Some people, when they're shouting out to Sam Altman and Mark Zuckerberg, just worried about, can I get a job? Can I have opportunity? So Maslow's hierarchy, always top of mind. We'll cut it there.